Welcome to the channel. My name is Shaan. In this video, I want to talk about marijuana-induced anxiety or marijuana-induced panic attacks, which lead to anxiety. Now, this is a very unique situation, but I really wanted to bring this up because in our program, the people that struggle, that fall into this trap, most likely are individuals that just took some marijuana, had a bad trip, and fell into this cycle. And I think it's a perfect example to really highlight some of the misnomers that people have about anxiety and really focus on how to get out of this once and for all. So I'm going to show you exactly how the process looks, why people fall into the trap, and how to really come out of it. So stay tuned. So like I said, the reason why I'm bringing up this specific scenario is because it's actually one of the most common things we see. And the biggest thing about this is it challenges the notion that somehow anxiety is just something you always struggle with, that somehow anxiety is something inherent, or that anxiety is caused by some major traumatic event. What we find is that actually that's not true. More likely, most people just fall into the trap just because they got tricked into the cycle. And here's what I mean. So many individuals are just casually sometimes taking some substances. Most often than not, it's marijuana, but it can be anything else. And what happens is that they just get a bad trip. They end up kind of scaring themselves, and that initiates what we call the fight or flight response, which means that the body thinks that there's something dangerous going on, that there's some threat. Because the individual is starting to get a little bit nervous and starting to get concerned by the way they feel, the body just responds this way. This leads to their first panic attack. Now, anybody who has a panic attack knows that if you don't know what a panic attack is, it is absolutely terrifying. It feels like you're gonna die. So what happens is these individuals who have never experienced panic or have never really struggled with anxiety smoke or take a brownie or whatever it is they take, and they end up getting tricked into having a panic attack. Once that panic attack happens, that causes them to have a new problem, which is fear of having another panic attack. And this is exactly how the cycle looks, which is they just take some stuff, get tricked, get a panic attack, and now they're scared of getting another panic attack. This initiates anxiety. This is how so many people end up falling into the cycle. In fact, in our program, out of everybody that struggles with anxiety that falls into this trap, this is the most likely. And what I want to highlight is it doesn't need to be some sort of traumatic event. It doesn't even need to be a major stressful event. It could be something as simple as just had a bad trip. So the major thing to really understand is that it doesn't have to be a trauma. The second thing is that many of these individuals think that because it was caused by some sort of substance, that substance actually ended up altering their brain chemicals forever. And the reason why is because when they fell into this trap, now they're struggling with the new problem, which is anxiety. And they're experiencing the symptoms of anxiety, whether that's derealization, depersonalization, brain fog. They feel like there's something wrong with them physically. And so now they have this new problem, irrespective of the fact whatever they took is probably out of their system. And they keep going to doctors, they keep going to ERs, but they just say it's fine, it's anxiety. Now they feel like they have this new problem and that they're like this forever. None of that is true. The real way to get out of this is to understand that it doesn't really matter what made you fall into the cycle. It could be something as simple as just taking a bad hit or whatever it is. Maybe there's some stress in life that kind of caused you to get tricked into the cycle. So don't focus on the root cause, focus on the solution. Second of all, recognize that anxiety isn't actually a life sentence. What you're experiencing is symptoms and offset of anxiety. And the second you focus on anxiety, all these symptoms disappear. Now, it's not overnight, it's not quick, but it's doable. You just have to do a couple of things right. And if you really want to know how do you do this, how do I get out of this, I'll put a link down below to my free report. This is exactly what I do to help individuals fully come out. This is exactly what we use in the program, and I'm going to give this to you for free just because it's something that I know I could have used when I was struggling with anxiety. So the link down is below, and definitely give it a check. The last thing I'll say is focus on long-term freedom. Regardless of what you feel right now, you need to focus on long-term freedom. And by doing that, you really need to understand what's going on and have a solution to get out of this. And the focus should be, how do you want to be living in the future? Not how you feel right now. that's pretty hard because when you're feeling anxiety, you want to eliminate the anxiety right now. If you focus on long-term freedom, that's what will get you out. That's the difference between coping in the moment and long-term freedom, which is overcoming. So if you really want to know, how do I focus on this? How are some right steps? Or if you want to even be part of my community where I'm helping individuals fully come out of this, I'll put a link down below to my private Facebook group. In this group, I'm putting exclusive content that I'm not posting on any other social media platform, and I'm really taking people step by step to recovery. So when you hit the link down below, it's going to ask you 3 questions. It's very important that you guys answer those 3 questions to the best of your ability. We want as many people to join the group, but we also want to maintain the integrity of the group. We don't want this to be another forum, another anxiety forum where people are fear-mongering one another, or people are scaring each other. This is good information that really helps you focus on long-term freedom, not short-term comfort. So hit that link down below. I'll see you guys inside.